Guys, I just had an interview. That's why I'm all dressed up. But of course, I'm wearing sweatpants underneath. I would love to hear what you think. Should I get a job? Should I not get a job? I'll tell you why I think maybe I should get a job and maybe why I think I shouldn't get a job, or maybe there's like an in-between that I can have. So here's the situation. I've been running my business for 3 years, so I'm self-employed, and for the entire time I have had a calligraphy business and a business coaching business. But last month I made the decision to do a hard pivot, so that means I am no longer actively promoting my calligraphy or my coaching. I can still do some of those things on the side if people want me to, but it's not the thing I'm really focused on right now. What I really want to do is just make content on YouTube. But the thing is, like right now I have 2,600 subscribers. I just got monetized about 2 weeks ago and I'm barely making any active income because I've stopped with my coaching and with my calligraphy. So I'm okay not making active income because I know this is like exactly what I signed up for when I decided to just do YouTube and just see if I can become like a full-time content creator, which I really truly believe that I can. And I think this is like what I really want to do. By the way, I made like a pivot video. So if you haven't seen the pivot video, then you can check out like why I'm not doing my calligraphy and coaching anymore. So now that I just want to do YouTube, I basically don't really have active income anymore. So that's why I've kind of been thinking maybe I should get a job. I don't really need a job right now because I do have savings, which can last me maybe like 6 months or so. And then I'm really going to be running out of money. So at that point, I would either really need a job. So for this episode of Dina's Diary, I wanted to share just my thoughts on this whole thing since I literally just came out of a job interview. Obviously, it was an online interview, that's why I'm wearing sweatpants. But the top looks nice, right? But yeah, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get that job or not, but I've just been thinking about this whole thing a lot. And do I really want a job or do I just want some stability? Do I wanna just work on my YouTube full time? Because the thing is, it's all about trade-offs. Like if I have a job, obviously I'll have some money, but I'll have less time to work on my YouTube. But then I also see good things with the job because like sometimes with my YouTube, I feel like I don't really have content to make. I think that can be argued too. Like I feel like maybe I should get a job so that I can use the job as kind of content for my YouTube, like just talking about how I'm doing in my job. I don't know. But then another thing is I feel like if I have a job, then I'll have less pressure to do YouTube. But then less pressure might mean less motivation and then I'm gonna slack off and then I'm not gonna work on my YouTube. And I think the biggest thing for me is I'm not gonna have time to work on my YouTube if I have a job. So that's the thing. Do I want more money or do I want more time right now? Technically, I don't really need the money right now, but it's also a bit scary. Like, I'm not sure if the whole YouTube thing is gonna work out. Like, it might take me a really long time to get bigger. So let me know what you think. I know it depends on what I really want. Another reason why I might not want a job is because right now in Vancouver, it's like really nice and like it's summertime and I would love to just like go out and do more things. But then again, I feel like maybe I'll be stressed if I'm not actively making money, but I don't have to make money. Okay, so anyways, I've been thinking about this a lot, like not just recently, but like throughout the past 3 years of me running my business, I've been thinking, should I get a job? Like, I think it's always something that I've thought about at the back of my mind. I don't think it's bad to get a job after you've quit your job to start a business. Like, I think a lot of people do that. Maybe things change in people's lives, so I don't have anything against that. I think if it makes sense, then yeah, I would get a job. But right now, I am not super in need of money. And also, I think maybe I want to give the whole content creation YouTube thing a try first for a couple of months before I seriously look for a job. But then there's also like a middle ground where I can try to freelance, or maybe I could get a part-time job. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you guys. I haven't shared this on social media, but a lot of my close friends know. I think 2 months ago, I delivered for Uber Eats for about a month, partly because I'm like curious about what it's like to be a Uber Eats driver. And then I was like, oh, I can make some money. Oh, it might be fun. And oh, I don't have to use my brain. It's literally just driving. And I have a EV, so I don't have to pay for gas. And right now gas is like so expensive in Vancouver. So I'm really glad I don't have to pay for gas. But I did it for a month and then I just kind of stopped doing it because I don't really like driving that much. It's okay, I can like drive, but you know, sometimes when you're like driving for 4 hours, it's not the best. And a lot of the times I noticed like I would have a headache or I would feel dizzy after driving for so long. I'm looking at the GPS and I'm looking outside, so I'm changing my like vision. Like it's like looking far, looking near, looking far, looking near. So I get dizzy. And I'm like driving to places where I'm not familiar. Like I am generally familiar with roads, but I'm going to a lot of residential areas, which I'm not familiar with. And then I have to like look for the house. So I think it's okay. Like, yeah, it's like an okay gig. Like if I really need money, yeah, I could do Uber Eats. Another thing I've been looking into is teaching English. With that, I've kind of applied to a few places, but I haven't taught English yet. But that's also something like at the back of my mind that I could do, maybe just for fun. Or I could like become a barista, because I've never been a barista. And I think that might be fun too, just like making coffee. So I think right now I'm like really open to things. I'm open to seeing maybe how things go with a YouTube. I can try a few part-time things here and there, or I can get a full-time job. I think maybe I want to hold off from like a full-time job, like 40 hours a week kind of thing, because then I know I won't have a lot of, it's not just the time, it's also the mental energy for YouTube. But then again, if I am in a full-time job, then I won't be so worried about money. But then again, I don't have to be worried about money right now because I do have money. Like when I'm thinking about all of these things, there's just so many things to think about. I haven't really committed to anything, but I'm just kind of seeing how things go. Yeah, just like looking back at my old journal entries, there are a lot of places where I mentioned like, maybe I should just get a job. Like I feel like sometimes I think getting a job is just like an easy solution because I have a hard time running this business. Oh my God. I have a hard time running this business. Yeah, there's like just a lot of fears and doubts and stuff that come up all the time. So I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, this business is so hard, maybe I should just get a job. Like a job is like a really easy solution to my problems. Yeah, that's like where I'm at right now. But if I do get a full-time or like a near full-time job, so the job that I just had an interview for, it's like a content creation job that's about 30 hours a week. I don't want to get into too much detail, but I feel like if I do get a job, if it's like a corporate or office kind of job where it's not like a gig job like Uber Eats or like teaching English or something, like if it's an actual like kind of office job, it would have to be mainly remote because as you all know, I like go between 3 different places every single week. I do have a video about that. You can watch it. I explain it more in depth on why I'm like going to 3 different places, but it would have to be remote. I cannot commit to like going into an office like every single day just because it's really inconvenient for me to like go. So it would have to be remote, and ideally it would be related to like content creation or marketing, like something that is kind of related to what I want to do with my YouTube, like content creation, social media, or marketing, like in that space where I'm like creating things. And yeah, it can't be a boring job. So if I do get a job, it would be some kind of job like that. And I would really have to vibe with the company. Like, so if you were me, what would you do? Would you keep working on the YouTube or find a part-time thing or maybe a full-time thing or maybe just see how things go with the YouTube? Let me know.